And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back after an hour-long break. Was that an hour? Was that an hour? Was that 3 hours? Was that a lot of downtime? But we are back. We are ready to continue Group C, and we are jumping into. Never mind. Never mind. We are getting ready to jump back into our series here into game 1 of Reynor versus Mixu as we are near the tail end of Group C. I do apologize for the downtime. Did mention previously though that it does seem like, or that Take TV, they were trying to fix their networking issues, so we do apologize for the delayed start, but hopefully they have resolved the latency issues or the dropping or the crashes that were occurring throughout the course of the weekend, and smooth sailings from here on forward. So again, did have to resolve those technical issues, and now we are back in. We are jumping into our series. Whew, let's go. Let us go. Oh my god. Did I say ZVZ? My apologies. The reason why we are restarting is because we did pick the wrong race. It is going to be a PvZ instead. I did allude to the fact that this could be a possibility. Reynor is playing Protoss, his main race, papi. Let's go. So not a ZVZ, it's a ZVP instead. Mix already 1-0. True. Kappa. So if you were looking forward to a mirror matchup, I do apologize, but that is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Oh, never mind. God. What? Hold on. We're tied up. We're going to the ace match. Let's go. My apologies. Looks like we do have some technical issues here. It looks like Mixu did crash. His PC did crash, so we're trying to resolve that. Already won. Protoss Imba, true. What already? Crazy. I mean, look, we have some catching up to do. I believe some of the other matches, some of the other series have already concluded, or I say concluded, they're already like either in game 2 or game 3, so we have some catching up to do. Our series is starting a little bit later than the others. We're getting there. Don't you worry. Finally, Reynor's main race. True. See, this is why Reynor's been struggling in this group. If you haven't noticed, Reynor, he went to the ace match against Mana. He dropped a series against Hero Marine. It's all because he's been playing Zerg. He's been off racing. Why? Finally, his final form. Let's go. Finally, he's taking it seriously. Do love to see it. Do love to see it here. What needs to happen in order for Reynor to get through this group? That is a good question. We could try to go through the group after this series. Well, we're jumping in. Looks like we have our players. Hopefully, we can actually begin this series. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, everything's okay. Again, there have been some technical issues over at the venue, which has been affecting some of our matches and our games and our players. But hopefully, it's all good. It's all good, papi. It's all good. Let's go. As we are loading into Neon Violet Square. I'm a little bit concerned because the loading screen is lasting longer than usual, which means there could be a disconnect. Oh, wait, we made it in. Let's go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neon Violet Square, we have the Italian. Some know him as a Zerg player, but he's playing his main race, the Italian Protoss player. The blue Protoss representing Basilisk, it is Reynor. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player himself, representing Berserker Esports from land of Finland, it is Mixu. Let's go, and if you're in the chat, get your gamba going. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we can finally embrace some StarCraft. Again, it was a long break. There was a lot of downtime there. It was like an hour at least, maybe over that. But we're back. We're on the saddle. We can ride it out all night long, papi. The StarCraft hopefully doesn't end. That's always the difficult thing about covering offline events, whether it's HomeStory Cup, whether it's Dream Hacks, whether it's IEMs. usually it is the downtime that is the most draining, to be honest. Like, yo, make me cast like 6 hours in a row and I'm good. But if I have to cast like 10 hours with like 1 hour long breaks in between series, like, yo, it just it takes away a lot of the momentum, takes away a lot of the energy that you're ideally like building up every time. So I'll get back into it. We'll get there. We'll get there. For now, though, Hatch Gas Pool. Standard opener here by Mixu. Hatch Gas Pool. So far, so good. Meanwhile, we do see Reynor going for a gate expand into that side, of course. Standard opener from our Protoss, likewise. Now, one of the big features, of course, of Omnia Violet Square is the pocket expansion. Is a very safe base you can take, that you can actually expand on, and you have a very secure 3-base setup here as a Protoss player. As a result, I would not be surprised if Reynor does embrace a more macro game, getting a 3rd base, getting a 4th base, just being more defensive, more turtley, and then building up towards something like Sky Toss. That is often what we do see out of Reynor, is that mid to late game play here in PvZ. From the side of Mixu, we'll see if he can stop that, or we'll see if he can outgreed Reynor instead. How will he approach this? Likewise, I should also mention as well, welcome one and all, once again to Neo Violet Square. Very old map in the map pool from the 2017 era of StarCraft. It's been many years since we have embraced this map in the tournament kind of ladder map pool, if you will. So great to see it once again. Of course, one of the big features, I believe this is the largest map in the map pool currently, larger than Abyssal Reef, larger than King's Cove, long rush distance by air, a lot of bases take as well. Get your secure 3, 4, even 5 base setup. And Mixu is going for the low ground expansion. Interesting. Now, with this low ground 3rd base, that does mean that he can launch creep a lot faster across the map. He's going to have to knock down these rocks, though, if he did want to go for something like a Roach Queen all-in. But taking this forward expansion does lead me to believe that Mixu does want to be aggressive. It is a little bit too early to tell, but I mean, the creep is definitely going to have... There's going to be that advantage here for Mixu to spread across the map. For now, Adaptable Shade in. Going to be a Void Ray opener for Reynor. Do love to see it. Void Ray is on the way. The goal here is to hunt down the Overlords, is to deny vision, deny scouting, and keep Mixu in the dark. Oh boy. And this can lead into a 2nd Stargate, into a Fleet Beacon, into Sky Toss. So our eyes are going to be on Reynor. You can see he's setting up for a fast 3rd. So Void Ray into a 3rd base, and oh no! And we will have a disconnect here as well. Not like this. I mentioned before that hopefully we were hoping that the connectivity, the network issues had been resolved, but we might have to resume from replay here. As Mixu is timing out. Okay, he's back here. Wait, we're good. He's back, Pap. He's back. Stay with us, Mixu. I know that it could be Sky Toss coming up, but don't smurge yet. I believe. Stay with us. As thankfully as well, this lag spike or this latency hits, you know, while we're macroing. Like, there's no like intense fights going on. There's no big engagement. So there we go. We're good. Whew. As we're back, we're good to go. Your 3rd base is thrown down. Void Ray about to spawn in. And again, do we throw down a 2nd Stargate or do we go for a Twilight Council? My eyes are on Reynor. As Mixu is rushing to a fast lair, there's a sub 4-minute lair timing for Mixu. This could be for a couple of different things. This could be for a Nidus-based all-in. This could be for a German taxi and a Droplord-based all-in as well. But just a very early lair from our Zerg player. First Overlord goes down. And there it is, Fleet Beacon. Yep, it's going to be Sky Toss. I mean, again, this is a very popular transition from a Void Ray-based opener, which is why that was kind of on the cards or something we were looking out for. Reynor is embracing it, and this, I imagine, is going to be in the back of Mixu's mind. Ooh, Forge follow-up, though. That's interesting. We could see a Twilight Council, we could see Charge. I'm curious if Reynor goes into something like a Mothership Rush into Charge ults with +1 or Blink Stalkers. I mean, I guess the Forge could just be for cannons, but that's just a very old-school approach, which isn't really seen too often. No 2nd Stargate. And the lair has done, and we assumed it was going to be Nidus or a German taxi. There's no Overlord speed. It is going to be Nidus. So Link Queen Nidus all in from Mixu. Meanwhile, Reynor rushing into Tempest production. Oh my god. Off of only 1 Stargate. Like, Reynor has a bank. He can afford a second Stargate, but yeah, just single Tempest production here for Reynor. Void Ray dips in, is zoned away by the Queens. Reynor has very limited scout information, but the hallucination will confirm. He sees everything. He sees all. He gets eyes on the Nidus. He knows. Cannons are on the way. The mothership is coming. Overlord's being forced back, but here comes the Nidus right inside the natural. Nidus is on the way. More cannons being thrown down. Can Reynor survive this with the bare minimum amount of units? Again, he's going to have one Tempest, one mothership, and a wall of cannons. Can he hold? Can he survive? Now, thankfully, Reynor has spent a lot of time off racing, and I'm sure he's been on the other end of this, so I'm sure he's aware of what he needs, what it takes to defend, to survive. We have more cannons, shield batteries on the way. And Mixu, upon seeing this, he's droning. Okay. Mixu, he's droning up. Now, on the one hand, it's cool that he's like respecting this position and he's trying to transition out of this. The problem though, look at the worker count. The problem here is the economy. Mixu, despite droning, he's down in workers here. 50 workers compared to the 59. So to be 60 workers of Reynor. Like, Reynor has a better economy. This was an all-in, and so far the all-in has not paid for itself. So Reynor's ahead. Reynor is ahead at this point. Just down the Nidus, making more Tempest. Behind this, going to +1, going to a Twilight Council. As we mentioned, because there's only one Stargate, this isn't really a commitment into Sky Toss. This is trying to force an overreaction, and so far it is. Spire is on the way for Mixu. No! Spire's on the way for Mixu. As once again, we are struggling to stay connected here. I wonder if it's I wonder if it's Mixu's PC. Like, I mean, it's hard to say because it's hard just because everyone's at the same venue, right? Like, everyone's at the same venue, everyone's next to each other, and from my understanding, at least, this is something that's only affecting Mixu. I don't know if he's like connected to a different network. So it's kind of weird that this is happening to Mixu specifically. I mean, to be fair, I don't know if this is affecting some of the other series that are going on right now on the other streams, but yeah, this is this is rough. Let him play, Papi. Let him play. As we will need a moment here to resolve those issues and make sure that everything's okay. It is possible that Mixu, he might even be in talks with some of the admins to try to come up with a solution to this, because, I mean, this has happened twice now in this game, and I think this is also one of the reasons why our series was a little bit more delayed, is that Mixu was trying to get his PC going. Clem had the same issue last series, I think. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting us know. Thank you. Again, we haven't been able to tune in, or at least I haven't been able to tune into the main stream, so I don't know what's been happening in the other games. I wonder if there's like multiple networks that they're like connecting to. So like some PCs are connected to one network and the others to another. That's catching up. Reynor often picks Toss when it would be ZVZ. Yeah, I mean, we've seen, we've casted Reynor defeat Solar multiple times, right? Like, Reynor, he's defeated Solar. He has, you know, gone toe-to-toe with, you know, some of the other stronger Zerg players out there. Like, Reynor, his PvZ is actually pretty good. Like, it's quite competitive. Is arguably better than some of the other Protoss players in Europe. It's pretty good. Reynor can never win 2-0 against Clem. I mean, Reynor, he arguably has the best ZVT against Clem, right? Like, in recent months, if you've been watching WTL or EWC, like, Reynor, he is, I would say, probably the best player that has actually consistently defeated Clem. I know that in recent weeks, like Max has been having some good showings against Clem, but I think you could maybe make an argument that Reynor is probably the best Zerg player against Clem specifically, more so than Cyril and Dark, like stylistically. Against Clem. Despite that, what's important to say, even though Reynor can take maps and can take series against Clem, it's one of those things where usually they do trade back and forth, and it's not like a one-sided result. And here in the group stage of HomeStory Cup, which is kind of the context of the conversation that I'm seeing, the reality is that map score does matter, right? Map score does matter, and Reynor needs like a solid result against Clem if he does want a chance to make it out of the group stage, which is true. It's true. Needs to pop off. Needs to pop off. Speaking of popping off, we will have to resume from replay as Mixu has timed out, so it is unfortunate. Mixu has timed out, and again, this game can still go either way. The one that we're even covering here and now. You know, I know a lot of people are talking about the potential Reynor versus Clem, but first he has to get through Mixu, Pat. True, has to get through it. But first we need to have a game. So we'll have to resume from replay, and yeah, hopefully everything goes well from here. We might just have a short break. We have to wait for Mixu to relog, to restart his PC and jump back in. So we will be back soon. Until then, take this moment, get some snacks, get some water, get some food, and we'll be back after the break with the continuation of Reynor and Mixu. See you soon. Ducklings. Welcome back, everyone, welcome back. We have recovered Mixu. Mixu is back, he's with us, and hopefully we can continue our series here and jump back into game number 1. Again, we apologize for the delayed starts and for, yeah, just the slower start here of the second half of the group, but we are back, and we will soon be jumping right on it. We will be continuing, we'll continue. Let's go. For now, though, again, I'm envious. I'm envious of the people in the chat that have been able to watch the main stream. That's the downside as well of covering the B stream, is that I haven't seen anything on the main stream, so I've been missing out on some of those matches, missing out on some of those games. Envious, papi, envious. I'll be catching up. Throughout the week. Eventually we'll catch up. Aye. For now, though, looks like we might be back. Might be back. And again, there's a lot to get into here. As a reminder, so kind of coming back into game 1 here on Neon Violet Square, Mixu had gone for an all-in. He had rushed into a sub 4-minute lair timing, gone for a Link Queen Nidus all-in, but alas, in the end, did pull out, so did try to deviate away from it. The all-in did fail, and now we're trying to recover from here. And again, Reynor does have the worker advantage. He's getting into his own Tempest support. Now, what's important here is that, again, this is only a single Stargate. Only one Stargate production, one Tempest at a time. And Reynor, he is hard switching into a ground-based army. Into Charger, Archon, and Storm. So again, the Skytoss units here are really going to be more of a supportive army here, or supportive backbone to Reynor's composition. And it's going to be falling back on Zealots, on Archons, on Storm, on High Templar instead. You know, Mixu trying to transition out of this. Now, my biggest concern for Mixu is that he doesn't know what's going on here. He has yet to really confirm, oh my god, that there is going to be a ground switch and a ground transition. Corruptors are on the way, and I'm a little bit concerned if we invest too heavily into Corruptor that the ground army is going to be struggling. The ground army is going to be neglected, and that's where the Reynor can pop up. But now Mixu is droning, saturating his bases, going for the gold. I mean, the gold base will help Mixu recover, true. He's getting there. Likewise, Reynor taking his fourth. Fourth base is on the way. Lings, they do hit the center expansion. Up. And they will deny some of the side defense. That's, oh my god, there's gonna be kills on cancels. Yeah, kills on the cannons and shield batteries, not bad. Not a bad pickup here by Mixu. So we are going to be settling in. Again, Reynor's just securing himself. Reynor, he should be playing a more defensive role here until he maxes out. So he's slowly building up, taking up fourth base, throwing down a wall of cannons, wall of shield batteries, building up more High Templar, Archons, looking to max out. Mixu, meanwhile, he has gotten eyes on some of this army. I'm loving the creep. Love the creeps right here with these Nidus Worms. Getting to a more Ling Corruptor heavy composition, which is okay for now. This can be leading to a Hive Tech, leading into Ultras, I would imagine, but the infestation of it's still on the way. Mixu can still not yet embrace Hive Tech. He's getting there. Oh my god. Speaking of, we have a wall of Drop Lords on the way. Let's go. Lings are moving out, and Mixu is going for the main. A bold move here by Mixu. Reynor, he's out of position, but he can always recall back into the main base if he has the energy for it. No NG on the Nexus. Mixu can't pop off. Loads up. Headed for the main. At the same time, Drop Lord towards the natural. Corruptors dive in. They do catch the Void Ray, going for the Fleet Beacon. Which doesn't really matter too much. Again, the Skytoss army is more supportive than anything. As the Tempests are exposed, Mothership as well. And Corruptors, they go for the dive. They take down the Mothership. The Mothership and the Tempest, meanwhile, Lings, they wreak havoc in the main. Lings, they pop off, they get 11 probe kills. But they cannot fight the main army. They cannot contest against the Archons. Lings back up. Rotating over, catching High Templar, not bad. Reynor getting caught out. Cannons under fire, and can we bring down the expedition? No! As Mixu's popping up. Oh, okay. This time it's Indy. Oh, no. Indy! The Polish caster. My heart bleeds for these players as well. They just want to play their game. They just want to play this series. But yeah, Indy is struggling. I believe Indy is casting from the venue as well.
Game paused.
I believe Indy, he is casting from the venue at Take TV. I think the French stream as well, right? I think it's the Polish stream and the French stream are live from the venue. So it feels internet, man. So Archons do push forward. They shut down the Corruptors. And hefty losses here for Mixu as Reynor, he breaks out. Does break out. Did lose, what was that? 11, 12 workers. Is going for a counterattack, catching out the Queens at least. Queens are going down. Reynor, does he commit or does he back up? From here, he's working towards Blink, getting into more upgrades, and he backs up. So again, Reynor still taking that more defensive role. But honestly, that wasn't too bad for Mixu. He killed a lot of workers, he was able to deny some bases, even here going for the 5th. Even catching the mineral line, Reynor getting caught out. Yeah, probes are falling, Nexus as well, massive pickup. Mixu doing well for himself. And he just keeps dropping. Oh my god. At least he tries to. Reynor, he defends his main. This time he does defend his main base. Hive is on the way. Mixu now embracing that Hive tech. Going for the Ultras. Ultra Cavern's on the way. It's one of those things where Lingbane can't really fight this army head on, but now with Ultras, suddenly Mixu can dive in, can commit here to a fight. He's getting there. He's getting there. Infestor's on the way behind this. Working towards Fungals. Going for another Doom Drop. Let's go. This time Reynor's ready for it though. He's in position. He's in position. Does start at the Drop Lords. He gets up. Not quite. They do get in. They do unload in time. Going for +3. Yeah, +3 is denied. Going for the main Nexus. Stalkers, they will eventually force us back. Lings are cleaned up, but not a bad denial on the upgrade. At the same time, Lings, they hit the pocket base. 18 probes going down. Reynor getting pulled apart. I mean, again, he was meant to be secure here. He's meant to max out on 4 bases, but it's just not happening. Bleeding out far too much. 19 probe kills. Mixu still just swarming in with more Lings. Greater Spires on the way. Ultras are upon us. Infestors are out. Neural is being researched. And by the time Reynor moves out across the map, is Mixu going to be ready for it? He has Master Infestor, Ultra. It's going to be close. As Reynor, he's had enough. Yeah, he's had enough defending. He's going for the kill. One way or another, the game is about to end. Mixu is maxed out. But a lot of supply in Corruptor, and that's dead supply, really. Corruptors are not helping. Going for the production. Main army moves in. There's 1 Ultra so far, 5 more in production. The Neurals will help. And Neurals popping up. Massive storm on the Infestors. Oh my god, the storms are brutal. And Neurals about to run out. More storms on the Infestors, they all fall. And the Archons are breaking through. Mixu, has he put enough time though? The Ultras have arrived. It doesn't matter. the Ultras, they melt against the Immortals. Yeah, the Immortal Archon pops up, breaks through the defensive line, and Reynor, he has too much. Yeah, this main army cannot be stopped. GG gets called, and Reynor will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Again, it's one of those things where Mixu was doing an amazing job harassing and going for the economy, crippling the production, trying to keep Reynor busy back at home, but eventually did move out. Eventually, Mixu did have to deal with the problem that was Reynor's main army, and alas, he couldn't quite deal with it. Just became too much, and with that, GG. GG, well played. Reynor does take a lead in the series, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. Again, I do apologize for being a bit out of it as well. I just it was not the smoothest of game ones when it came to the disconnects, the reconnects, and all that stuff. But hopefully we are able to settle in. Hopefully, as we are getting ready for that second game. Meanwhile, I believe the rest of the round has concluded. Question mark? Yes, it has. The rest of the round has concluded. So it looks like the mainstream might be joining us here for the conclusion of Mixu and Reynor. So they will be joining us. I think Light did not get enough sleep. It's okay. I'll get some coffee after this. I'll get some coffee. It's all good. I watched the majority of this game thinking Reynor was the Zerg player. Oh no. Oh no. Now Reynor, he's not off racing. He's main racing path. Let's go. And he's in their basement, yeah. I've heard. Oh, hello, Foxer. Oh my god, Esther Foxer in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Yo, are you going to Cheese? Cheesedelphia next weekend? True, true. We'll be there. How many years since you had a proper sleep schedule? Oh, no. Never, Papi, never. Been far too long. As we're getting into game 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Leylines, we have the Italian Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player representing Berserker Esports. It is Mixu. We go. So we are going to be settling in. We'll be settling in here, and again, Reynor embracing really the features of the map in that last game on Neon Violet Square, going for Stargate, Void Ray into something more defensive, going into the Mothership Rush, going into the Tempest. Here on Leylines, I don't think he can quite do the same, as Reynor does block the expansion. Blocks the base. Going to be Hatch Gas Pool Opener here out of Mixu. And we'll see what Mixu goes for. So now there's the opener. Hatch Gas Pool. Reynor going to be expanding back at home. So far, so good. I would not be opposed to Reynor opening up Void Ray again, and not necessarily going into Tempest, but just going Void Ray even into an Oracle, into a standard game. I mean, that's the benefit of going for a Void Ray opener, is that there's a lot of possibilities when it comes to the follow-up, and you can make it look like the same build and try to mind game your opponents, but we'll see. We'll see what Reynor goes for, as the Cybercore is on the way. Proper sleep schedule our thing? Oh no. My sleep schedule depends on what I'm casting, Pappy. What I'm casting. I mean, we slept decently well today. Just unfortunately, I woke up earlier than I would have liked. I woke up like 4 hours before HomeStory Cup started, so it doesn't bode well. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll make it. We'll make it. No. I've also just been informed as well, and I'm sure there's going to be a more official announcement momentarily, or it might even be live on the Wikipedia. But we might be casting tomorrow as well. Might be originally it was only going to be the group stage, but we might be casting day 3 alongside the mainstream, at least for a little bit. Meanwhile, it's an all-in. Meanwhile, it's a Bane bus, Pappy. Bane Nest has been thrown down. The Adept does get into the main. Ooh, and does get behind the mineral line, and a massive moment here for Reynor. Does scout the tech, does scout the Bane Nest, and now he knows. He knows what's going on. He is aware. Back at home, rolling up. Is going to be rolling up, throwing down extra gateways, shield battery, sentries, and oh, Mixu will cancel. Okay, Mixu, he respects what just happened. He got scouted, so Mixu, he does cancel, and he drones. Is going to be droning up, going for an Evo chamber. I do like the flexibility here by Mixu, and Reynor doesn't know. So Reynor overreacting here, throwing down a second pylon, shield battery, getting ready for an all-in that's not coming. Oh boy. The mind games are real. Oracle moves out. Now, what I will say, because Mixu was initially preparing for the all-in, his droning has been a little bit lackluster. Spores now on the way. Mixu attempting to resaturate. And Mixu working towards a later game state here with plus on melee into a lair, into potentially Hydras or even a Spire. Like, Wazzle doesn't quite get the probe. But I do appreciate, even though Reynor, he was ready for the aggression that didn't really arrive, he's so quick here to just take a third. He realizes, hold up, something's wrong. You're hitting too late, you're not really being as aggressive as you should be. So he will expand, will take a third, despite not really confirming what's going on. So Reynor, he isn't contained for too much longer. Oracles move out. And Reynor's building up. As a result, Reynor is not too far behind when it comes to his third base timing. Revelation goes off, confirms saturation at the natural. Reynor now knows that Mixu's been droning, and now it's time to do something about that. Oh boy, Adepts have arrived. They hit the natural. Drones are going to be going down. And 3 workers so far. Not bad. Again, nice positioning here behind the mineral lines. More drones falling, getting up to 4, getting to 5. Oh, boys are being pulled. 6 drones go down. Ay. Did I say 6? Up to 8. 10. Oh, the oracles pop off. 11 worker kills. Mixu does clean this up, but alas, 11 workers went down. With that, Reynor takes an economic lead. Now saturating his third, and he's not done. He is not done. Moving out with 2 more adepts. Oracles are still active. And Reynor should be picking a take of choice momentarily, just going into Immortal production. No Twilight Council yet. Gets another drone. Another 2 workers. Only 2. Ah, I spoke too soon. Getting 4 drone kills. 4 workers go down. Behind this, Mixu gearing up. Lair is done, going into Hydras, as we did mention. So Ling, Hydra, added Mixu. He's attempting to get into the mid game. He's attempting. So he can get there. Meanwhile, Reynor is going to be stuck back at home for quite some time. Mainly because of the Twilight Council. Twilight Council's halfway done. Once it finishes, he can then embrace Blink Stalkers, Charge Lots. But without those upgrades, he's going to be stuck at home. And Mixu has time. He has time to drone up, saturate his bases, get into his 4-base economy. Taking up a little bit further here into the infestation pit. That's a little bit concerning. With this, he can go into a hive, work towards lurkers. I would imagine Reynor's going to be the first to move out. Reynor's getting his 4th. Working towards Storm. I assumed that Reynor was going to be pushing with charge, but that is not the case. Reynor is taking his 4th base and waiting for Storm. So he's just still taking up, being more defensive. Now this does mean that Mixu will get away with the Hive Tech, which means Mixu can get into Lurker Tech as well. Assuming he throws down the Lurker Tech. As Mixu does test the waters. Dipping in, so many stasis traps, oh my god. I mean, again, this is the power of the NG overcharge. There's just so much NG, so many stasis traps, oh my god. Everywhere. Reynor, calm down. So he's walling up, he's ready for anything to come his way. Doing what Protoss does best, Pappy, let's go. Just hurtling up. Meanwhile, still no Lurker Den for Mixu, which means he may go into Ultras instead. Curious. As Mixu is gearing up. Getting ready with his Ling Bean Hydra. Meanwhile, how many High Templar? 5. 5 High Templar, plenty of Storms. Mixu rotating around. First Storm connects. Mixu looking for another way in. Going for Dropper Lords. 5 Dropper Lords on the way. Space Traps going up. This does give time here for Reynor to respond. And so far, the Hive only being used for Adrenal. Okay, so no Ultras or Lurker Den. My apologies there. Going up. Link's being cleaned up. Mixu rotates. No stasis traps. He can dive. So he can try to. Storms are ready. Drop Lords have arrived. Going to be bypassing this wall of side defense. Going for the natural. Mixu now taking into lunge. What's it called? Like muscular swell? It's like some nonsense. Something like that. As Storms get thrown down, Lings, they struggle to engage. They get 2 workers. Meanwhile, dropping to the natural. Bailings drop in. Storms to defend. And Bailings, they get a handful of workers, but not much else. As Reynor is holding on. Shield upgrades are delayed. But Reynor holds. You know, Mixu taking into a Spire. This should be for a greater Spire, I would imagine. You know, Reynor going for a Fleet Beacon. Getting into Sky Toss. Storms to connect. Another Doom Drop. Let's go. Mixu once again going for the natural. There is 1 Storm available, but not much else here. Storm goes up. Hydras, they drop in. Headed for the main. Headed for the main base. Reynor, he does have something to defend here, but the High Templar goes down. Nice pickup. Going for the production. Let's go. Depowers a Robo. Piece off a couple of pylons. I mean, these are nice pickups, but nothing too major here, as Reynor will clean this up. I mean, this Hydra-based army can't really dive in. As Mixu is just running into a brick wall. It does get an Archon here or there. Does pick off a couple of units. Greater Spire's almost done. And again, without something like Broodlord or Ultra or Lurkers, this initial move out from Reynor is gonna hit. It's gonna hit like a truck. It's so hard. The Bailings! Up! Up! Oh my god. Massive connections, 9 probes go down. Could have been worse. Some decent damage. Mixu dipping in. Banelings once again get into the mineral line and 2 more probe kills. Here come the Corruptors. Broodlords are coming. So far, 6 Broodlords on the way. Infestors underneath. Mixu transitioning into Broodlord Infestor, which can fare a lot better against this kind of ground-based composition. But bearing in mind, these are not going to be the best upgraded Broodlords. They're going to be 0-0. +1 range is halfway done, and it's going to have +1, I guess, but in a head-on fight, they're still not going to be ideal. As Reynor's taking another expansion, still walling up. Oh god. As Mixu lunges in, and that's not how you want to use that spell. Takes a storm to the face. Okay, calm down, buddy. Calm down. I do like the effect, though. I like the visual, I should say. The visual effect of the lunge. Not the most useful upgrade, but it looks cool. As Reynor's now pushing in. Broodlords are revealed. Going for the Archons, he gets one. Gets an Archon, gets a High Templar. Good storms though. Massive storms actually. Broodlords are getting low. And without Skytoss, Broodlords, they can reign supreme. Forcing out more storms. Building up more Broodlords. Still no Tempest on the way here for Reynor. I mean, whether it's Tempest or Carrier, we need something. Instead, going for a counterattack. Another Archon goes down. Well, Mixu does take down an expansion. Now losing a High Templar. Slow Crusade trade, they get 1 Broodlord. Main army moves out. Base is exposed. Banelings crashes the High Templar, and Reynor, he's struggling here. He still refuses to go into any kind of Skytoss. Mothership goes down. And Mixu is doing this. He's breaking through. Shuts down the expansion. Stalkers are coming from behind. Massive dive here from Reynor. Nice blinding clouds though. And yeah, the Stalkers, they go down. They cannot hold their own. Massive storm. But the storm's not enough. Storm's not enough. Where's the anti-air? We have more storms. But it's mainly immortal. And immortals, they don't shoot up. It's almost purely immortal. And Broodlords, they finish. They go for the Stalkers. Some clutch kiting. We're down to what? 6 Broodlords. And the Stalkers are going to be hunting them down. Down to 3. No shot. No shot. Reynor, he's still pulling this off. Barely not. Again, Reynor running out of anti-air, but more Stalkers have arrived. It's not the cleanest fight. It's not the cleanest approach to Broodlord, but I mean, Reynor, he's just brute forcing it. And it's working. It is working. Takes on the final Broodlords. 1 Broodlord left. And Reynor does take the supply lead. Man, who needs Skytoss? True. Man, you think you need Skytoss against Broodlords? Nah, just make Stalkers back. That's all you need. Lurker Gen on the way, again to support the Broodlords. Should be Broodlord Lurker. Inking Junction is ideal against Ground Toss. But, alas, Mixu needs more time. Reynor rotating around. Oh, avoids the fungal, dives on in, gets 1, gets 2 of those Broodlords, 1 left. And 1 is not enough. Hydras are coming from behind. They avoid the storms for the most part. But still plenty more storms where that came from. At the same time, Zealots hit the northern bases. 17 drones going down. The entire mineral line just exposed. Yeah, the economy is going to fall. More Brutals getting picked up, and Mixu is just being pulled apart. He just cannot keep up. Not anymore. Not against Reynor. Reynor showing why he's the best Protoss in Europe. True. No, sorry, was it Clem? I think Clem was the best Protoss in Europe. Reynor, second best Protoss. So Storm's going to be going up. Oof, massive connections. I think it was yesterday where, was it Rotterdam and Harsum having a discussion who has the better like PvZ, like Clem or Reynor, as GG gets called, and Reynor will take the series at 2-0. Will take down Mixu with his Protoss. GG. GG. GG, well played here, as Reynor will take the series. Again, it was close, so Mixu definitely had his moments. Going into Broodlords was definitely the correct call, especially because Reynor was sticking with ground toss. He was being more defensive as well, just allowing Mixu to take up into Hive. But as we saw, unfortunately, it isn't just about the Broodlords. He did need some ground support, whether it's Ultras, whether it's Lurkers. Eventually, he was working towards Lurker tech, but he needed more time. He needed more time to actually embrace that and support those Broodlords. In the end, he barely could not, and with that, GG. GG, well played. Reynor does take it, and with that, we are getting ready for our final round in Group C. Oh boy. As we switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket.